Hello everybody, welcome back to Cracked Up Games, and welcome to what's going to be the finale of In Sound Mind. Not going to waste too much time, just going to hop right the heck into it. Oh, come on. Too busy reloading to actually shoot the thing. Ow.
Hold on me because I didn't want to confront
There
this
we
side
go.
of myself.
That's
Didn't want
better.
to believe it exists. Not anymore. I accept you. I accept my guilt, my fears, my insecurities. I accept them all. And I choose to keep going.
Alright, well you know what? Can I lure y'all into that? There we go. That's much more effective. Sure everything's loaded up before I... Nope, come on. Gotta jump better than that, Desmond. Up. There we go. That's how you use the environment to your advantage. Okay, that was like a 3-hit combo. Sorry, tastes like purple? No? Get one. Ow. Can you kindly stop doing that while I'm distracted by other things? It's getting really annoying. Oh, okay. Nope. Oh my god! Stop with the combos. What have you been trying to do this whole time?
You can't just record over me. I want to know.
I'm afraid our time
Yeah, but
is
you
up.
can't stop me.
The next time you want to talk to me, make an appointment.
Oh lord! That's blinding. It's raining rainbow. The tape's all broken. Oh, it's hat. I got his hat. That's amazing. You can see at the top of the screen the brim. Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh. Oh, I'm back in Desmond's tape now.
In an unexpected turn of events.
Oh, and it's
seems
recording.
that I'm coming out the other side. Why and how this is all happening is becoming clear, and as strange as this is, I am equally as fascinated as I am mad.
He's recording rather than playing. What's that? Oh, just a buoy? Do buoys normally have red lights like that? I don't actually know. I've never really seen them at night.
Life for me will never be the same. I'm grateful to survive, but at what cost? I am yet to know. While I can see the fog clearing, I can also feel my skull. My brain is pulsing. Something is different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure something with effects as strong as Agent Rainbow's can end up having lasting side effects. Not to mention the whole, like, brain connecting to radio waves type thing.
Meyer and the government
what?
think they have autonomous control over us, that they can shove us around and we'll take it. They fail to realize that by pushing a bird out of its nest, you teach it to fly.
Looks like one last Hey. Okay, I was caught on the edge of the bridge for a second there.
I'm
You
going
line
on
up?
record. Myers gonna pay for what they've done. To Virginia, to Alan, to Max, Lucas, Rosemary, to Milton, to everyone. I am right. I am just. I am alive, and I am in sound mind.
Yep, said the title.
Come
Roll
and tell me
credits.
otherwise.
And what? God, it makes me wonder though, like with the effect that Agent Rainbow had on Desmond and like the world around him, with like seeing the monsters and like the tapes, the way the apartment building is, stuff like that. Like, what did it do to everyone else? And like, what effect has it had on the rest of the town that we don't even know about? Tanya! I can't even pick up the phone now.
Hey,
Oh, hung up
Hey.
the hat.
I'm really proud of you, Desmond. But,
What?
well, we're still here, aren't we?
Man, I hope I'm not stuck in here forever.
Time will tell. Patience and grace. Here. I think you can handle what's in your locked room now.
Ooh, the room with the white orb.
If you have any
So that's
unfinished
where I get
business, take care of it and meet me on the roof when you're ready.
Bye, Tanya. Now I'm curious about that room even more. That's a big old moon. Still all flooded, no real changes. So I guess this is like a final section to just explore around safely and get any upgrades or anything you may want for the sake of achievements, if I had to guess. This is still the same, right? Yes. It would have been interesting if that changed or to like something a little more sinister. I feel like that's changed. I don't remember him playing it quite like that at the beginning of the game, but then it has been a while. Oh my god,
Something
it's
stops me
full of
from getting
darkness.
closer.
Oh, God. Okay, this one's actually gonna potentially hurt me. Tanya, couch potato Wales, age 10, human years. Diagnosis, mild kittenhood trauma stemming from possible abandonment. Abnormal levels of laziness that sometimes border on clinical lack of motivation to move and or care about her surroundings. Suspected borderline personality disorder. Flashlight. Circumstances of treatment: showed up at my door on a rainy night some 9.5 years ago, frail and malnourished, talkative and sweet. She seemed unharmed in that she'd either been lost, forgotten, or thrown out. I decided that since she was kind enough to choose me, I shall take her in and nourish her back to health. Personal history: somewhat unknown origins. Catatonia displays the kind of regal behavior that likely links her to a long lineage of royalty dating back to ancient Egypt. Using my very best judgment, I'd say she is either a direct descendant of Bastet or the very soul of the feline goddess herself, who has bestowed the honor of care upon yours truly. Psychological notes: prone to occasional freezing. Tanya will sometimes stand perfectly still as if in a catatonic state. She exhibited this behavior often as a kitten and less often as she reached adulthood and relaxed into her surroundings. This demon wizard trapped in a cat's body has definite magic powers. 10 years into our relationship, and I have yet to understand how she can melt my heart and soften my mind with a single look of adoration, a single meow. Desmond Wales, a thought experiment laced with beer. Patient name me, age 41. Diagnosis paradoxically paranoid. Circumstances of treatment. Patient is following the good psychological practice of self-analysis. Patient considered finding a third-party professional, but ultimately decided that this could result in unwanted prying into a past best left alone. Following the death and disappearance of several people under his care, patient has come to seriously question his methods and whether or not he is also at risk. Patient has difficulty reconciling with the fact that no matter how much he works on himself, it won't bring Magdalena back. Magdalena? Is that like his ex-wife or something? So death and disappearance of several people under his care, so I wonder if that means that Max just disappeared and I was right about them sending his car crashing into the quarry. Let's see. Personal history. Born and raised in Milton Haven, the only child of Jack and Melinda Wales. Undergraduate degree in neurology and semiotics, I don't know what semiotics is, from Pacific State College. Graduated with honors, medical school at Virgil Med, residency at Acheron Falls Medical Center. Likes long walks on the beach and being bad at video games. Relatable at times. Patient has doubts about the methodology of his treatment. Is he providing his patients with the best possible professional advice, or is he consciously or subconsciously driving them to self-destruction? Patient's mind is consumed with worry for his own safety. What if what happened to them will happen to me? Is danger lurking at every corner? Magdalena once told me that I'm incapable of taking care of my own issues since I'm always knee-deep in other people's problems. Assuming she's correct, how do I change that about myself? Should I? So I can't actually bring myself to read all of this, but so it looks like Tanya ended up eating a lily flower and it poisoned her, and that's how she died. And there's the white object. That's what was in Desmond's office, was the truth about Tanya. His office, Homamart, Icarus Point, the rail yard, the soldiers, and then Rainbow. So he has portraits for each area of the game. Not sure what's going on here. Looks like a person. Maybe that's Magdalena? Maybe that's what the red ribbon represents? And there, I'm guessing, is the lily plant. There's a picture of Desmond himself. Oh, hello. I didn't see you before. Desmond, please don't hate me for this. I know you'd say you wouldn't, but I know you. You gave me 4 years for which I am eternally grateful. The time we spent together means the world to me, and I know it did for you as well, despite everything. Big but coming. But I just can't do it anymore. I want happiness, Desmond. Happiness. I know it comes from a good place, but your overprotectiveness of me and your increasing paranoia about who knows what at the moment are making me crazy and doubtful. You are so special, so smart, and so loving, but you sometimes can't see past your own emotions and problems more often than not. How can you be there for me when you're barely able to leave your own head? I sometimes question how you ever ended up choosing a career being there for other people. I love you, Desmond. I'm sorry. Take care of Tanya. Magdalena. So I wonder if that was before or after all the Agent Rainbow started. There's the lilies. Alright, give me a moment. So, last Monday, Tuesday, someday early last week, we actually ended up having to put a cat that we had to sleep. He showed up at the beginning of the year and was very starved and just in really bad shape. We think someone may have abandoned him. And we took him in and put him in our spare room and had been taking care of him, but we don't really know exactly what happened. I don't remember what the word is that they used, but basically something caused a blood clot in his spine and his organs were shutting down. And those... Sorry. And there was nothing they could do. His back legs had become paralyzed, and that's what caused us to take him in the first place to find out what happened. He had just been to the vet a couple days before for a bad skin issue and something else I can't even remember at this point, and because he hadn't really been eating, and then just that happened, and we don't know why the sudden turn, but that was the day before I recorded the episode where you find Tanya's grave by the church, and that's why I couldn't really go much further after that, and that's why all the mentions of Tanya since then have been really affecting me, so that's the truth about that. He was an incredibly sweet cat, and I just haven't been able to get over it. My mom and I have had to bury 4 cats since Christmas. And it's been a lot to deal with. Give me a minute before I continue. Alright, I think I'm good. There's only a couple things left to do now. Well, battery. Yeah, I guess every time you go near Desmond's office, it auto-saves, because that's where the save actually loaded from the previous episode. And the final vinyl. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but here we are. I don't like that every time you switch to the flashlight, it automatically turns on. Not exactly the sound I was expecting. Oh, the picture of the orb has changed to one of Tanya. That's weird. Yep, now it's changed again. I would play all of these, but I imagine that the songs probably have official uploads on YouTube. I don't know. They were all composed by the Living Tombstone. All the music in this game was, in fact. And if you're interested in the songs, I actually... Oh! It's Rainbow's part. That's actually cool. Yeah, because I'm gonna listen to these too in my free time, because the music in this game is amazing. I feel like if you want to listen to the music, then it might be better to find like any sort of official uploads of that to support them, because like the Living Tombstone's works are awesome. Is the phone work yet? No. Okay.
No one is picking up.
Yeah, like the music in this game is awesome, and just this game in general has been great. Even if Icarus Point I had some problems with, just the game in general has overall been amazing. Especially the park, though. Elysium State Park, that was the best section of the game. I loved how much it like messed with your head. The Flash, I feel, was the most well-done monster, because the fact that the ranged attacks added a entirely different level of threat compared to the other pursuers, and I liked the discovery that it had the weak points that you could shoot to make it stop. I mean, hit with the radio to make it stop for a little bit. Not to mention that segment actually gave you the item very early that you could use to deal with it, because that's one thing I don't get, is with the Shade, you shoot him with the flares to make him back off. You could use the lure pills to lure Max around and get him away from you, but I don't think Stop making noise. I don't think the Mirror Shard actually did much to Virginia. If anything, looking at her in the Mirror Shard actually ended up drawing her attention to me and making the Watcher attack me.
I wish this ending could have been a happier one.
But
life doesn't work that way.
Okay, Rainbow.
Getting rid of me will be the challenge of a lifetime.
Rainbow is
You
the
may have won the
moon.
battle, but you've only saved yourself. Agent Rainbow
Yeah.
is still out there.
All the people in Milton Haven have been affected by it.
Don't listen to him. He's afraid because he knows exactly what you're capable of.
what am I capable of?
Time will tell. Patience and grace.
So, this is goodbye?
You said goodbye before. I wouldn't lose any sleep on it.
So I wonder if
I'm
Tanya's
sorry.
voice here is
my
actually
fault.
Magdalena's.
I should have known.
And I wonder if that, like,
You did your
patience and
best.
grace was something
You
she would
loved me,
say
and
or
that's
something.
all I ever cared about. Besides, I live on. In your head, so that's something.
Thank you, Tanya. For everything. You're a real
Better
cool
one
cat.
this time.
Yeah. I know.
Alright, and that's the end of In Sound Mind, I guess. There's a bit of a cliffhanger with Desmond still being here at the apartment and stuff, unless there's anything else that happens during or after the credits. It is interesting, though, because I feel like there's kind of implication, possibly, towards a future sequel. It's talking about how getting rid of Agent Rainbow is gonna be like the biggest challenge because he's only saved himself, and like taking down Meyer and Desmond still being here in the apartment and stuff. So it makes me wonder if there will be a sequel, because if so, I will be right there to play it, because, again, this game was amazing. I don't usually do horror games that much, but this one was right up my alley with the fact of... Oh, interesting. So, Lucas and Max's one seem to be the only songs that aren't sung by their actual voice actor. So that's interesting. But yeah, like, this game's been great. I don't usually do horror games, but this one's right up my alley with, like, the psychological stuff and how it messes with your head. I really love that type of stuff. It's not just a lot of jump scares. In fact, there was some scares that really got me good because of the fact that they were completely silent, with Rainbow, like, sneaking up behind you. I still remember that part in the storage room of Homamart where I first saw him. Just turned around and there he was at the corner of my vision. And that part in the sewers at the water treatment section of the park where I turn around the corner and there he is walking towards me. That got me incredibly good. But yeah, I had some problems with Icarus Point because that was the first area that really relied on platforming, which is a little clunky in this game. The momentum for running is not that great. And I really didn't like Lucas because, or not Lucas, Alan, because, okay, so like Virginia, I think the Watcher would leave you alone after a little while. Even though she did kill me a few times. And like Max, you could avoid because the bull would just charge in straight lines. And Lucas, you could get away from by hiding or by using radio on those 3 spots to make him shut down for a bit. But if Alan got you and you couldn't get to a light, that's it. He slows you down, and so you can't really get away. He just keeps draining your health. And if you don't have a light source or a flare, you don't really have any way to get away from him. And that's really, really annoying. Because he follows you with almost perfect turning. Unlike the bull. And it just ended up becoming a lot more tedious and frustrating than scary after a while. Like, it didn't really create much tension, it was just annoying. But the rest of the game I really liked. Like, even though the Watcher was a little frustrating to deal with, she wasn't really in most of the area, because most of the stuff you had to do in Homamart was in the back rooms of it, where she wasn't really a threat. Except for, like, the 2 mirrors back there that she only showed up for, like, that brief sequence. But yeah, I liked how the game seemed to kind of escalate as it went and as more of the truth came out, so that it kind of stopped holding back its cards. It would play more of the hand it was dealt.
Desmond,
Lucas!
Can you hear me? Are you in there? Damn it.
Desmond, you're breathing. Yes. I heard you, man. I heard you in the back of my mind. My goodness, what did you do to this place? Judging by the package on the table, I guess they got to you before I did.
Oh,
bastards.
Interesting.
You'll be all right, my friend. Rest. And when you feel better, we'll take the fight to them.
There's the sequel hook right there. Okay. So Meyer sent Desmond something to basically corrupt him with Agent Rainbow, try and get rid of him. But yeah, so that's interesting. If they make a sequel to this, I will be right there to play it, because this was fantastic. But yeah, I loved how the game, it kind of stopped holding back its cards. It played more of its hand the further you went, and the more of the truth came out, because then it started messing with you more. Like there was that one hallucinogenic trip in, was it the, yeah, it was in Icarus Point with the ship, with the giant whale skeleton and stuff flying over. That part was really cool. That reminded me a lot of Control. But then, like, you start getting to a lot more of the reality warping stuff, and Rainbow trying to directly interfere with you, and stuff like that, and it really culminated in the park with, like, as annoying as the sewer section was, it was still pretty interesting with it just messing with you with the doors and stuff. At the water treatment facility, the war flashbacks from Lucas changing everything up, the part with Rosemary just with that generator with the 9 fuses and just her, we don't have time for this, and turning it on herself. That I actually found pretty funny. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this game. This is one of the favorite things that I've played on the channel so far. And I'm gonna keep an eye on these devs, even if they don't make another sequel. I'm gonna be interested in seeing. They say their name is We Create Stuff, so I'm gonna see what they create next. Until then, though, this has been In Sound Mind. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna play next after this, but keep an eye out for it if you're interested. If you like the video, consider leaving a like. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve or anything else you wish to share, then consider leaving a comment. If you like what I do and want to see more videos, then consider subscribing so you don't miss an upload. Until then, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.